Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us today for the virtual NALA Board Candidate Forum for the 2025-2026 board term. I'm NALA's president, Cheryl Nadarse, ACP. This year, we have 8 candidates running for 5 board positions: vice president, secretary, treasurer, and 2 at-large positions. We will be addressing questions based on the particular position for which a candidate is running to better help you distinguish between the various roles on the board. The board of directors is the governing body for NALA, serving very critical functions in oversight, compliance, and strategic planning. Oh, and visioning too. Board members are also key ambassadors for NALA. Our bylaws outline the qualifications that members must meet in order to serve on the board, and all 8 candidates have met those qualifications. You can find more information about the nomination process at our website, nala.org. NALA is a membership organization, and we count on our members to be the driving force behind all that we do. Voting in elections is one of the many ways you help shape the future of NALA. All active type members who join NALA by May 25th are eligible to vote during the board elections. Your vote matters and will have a significant impact on the direction of NALA over the next few years. Voting will open tomorrow. You will receive an email with instructions. So that you can make your most informed vote, we have created several ways for you to learn about the board candidates. As I have already mentioned, the NALA website is a wealth of information. We have a voter guide that you can find from our homepage at nala.org. From there, you select the About drop-down tab at the top of the page, and then click on Get Involved. There you will find links to bios, candidate questions, and introductory videos. Additionally, there is information about each candidate in the May edition of Facts and Findings. You can learn a lot through these resources. We are also holding this candidate forum to allow you the opportunity to hear directly from the candidates in this live event. I hope you take advantage of several of the resources that are available to learn about your NALA board candidates. So, on to this afternoon's forum. I would now like to introduce our CEO, Vinnie Finley. She will be our facilitator today.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Cheryl. Okay, we have a full agenda, so I am just going to jump right in. So to start, each candidate will be given up to 2.5 minutes to introduce themselves and share their background and/or skills as they pertain to serving on the board. I will then ask each group of candidates the same question, and each candidate will have 30 seconds to respond. None of the candidates know what questions will be asked, but they are based on feedback from voting members. So that we can keep things moving, I will be holding everyone to their allotted time. We do intend to keep this forum to 1 hour. So before we get fully started, can I have all the candidates turn on their cameras? Wonderful. And I'm going to quickly introduce you so they can put a name to a face. And when I do so, please raise your hand so people can identify you. So we have Pianka S. Greer. She is running for vice president. We have Debbie J. Sawyer, who is running for secretary. And we have Vicki Casper, who is running for treasurer. And all 3 of those positions are unopposed. And then we have 5 candidates running for 2 open at-large positions, and they are in alphabetical order. Courtney Bivens, Jeannie Elliott, Kayla Glaros, Bridget Stewart, and last but not least, Dana Welker. Okay, so cameras off except for Bianca, because we're going to start with you, Ms. Greer. And this is Bianca S. Greer, CP, FRP, SHRM CP, and she is from Orlando, Florida. And she has 2.5 minutes. Do we have our timer up and going? Sierra?
We're ready for the countdown.
So, okay, so what, I don't see it on the screen. Should we be seeing it on the screen? It happens when you start? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so Bianca, your introduction, your 2.5 minutes starts now.
Greetings, everyone. It's so great to be here today. I am excited to be running for vice president as my second term on the board of directors. And just to tell you a little bit about myself, I have been on the board now for, gosh, I think 5 or 6 years. I started out as the affiliated associations director and moved up to treasurer, on to secretary, and am now completing my first term as vice president. As well as I have worked on the DE&I task force, the DE&I committee, a new membership task force that we have now, the student relations task force. So I have my hands on as much as they will possibly allow me to with NALA at this time. And I just want to say thank you for allowing this opportunity for me to be in leadership. I just want to be the best steward of this organization and to help propel NALA into the future. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and I thank you in advance for your vote as vice president.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Bianca. You can turn your camera off now. And Debbie Sawyer, you are next. And this is Debbie J. Sawyer, ACP from Nashville, Tennessee, and she is running for the secretary position, and she now has 2.5 minutes to provide an introduction. Again, this is uncontested. 2.5 minutes to provide an introduction about herself. Debbie, we cannot hear you. It looks like you are actually still muted, so try again. And Sierra, are you able to restart the time by any chance?
Sorry
okay,
about
we'll
that.
We'll give you 15 seconds. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Hi again, everyone. I'm Debbie Sawyer, ACP from Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm seeking re-election for the second term as NALA secretary. I am a NALA OG. I've been a NALA member since 2002, CP since 2003, and an ACP since 2007. I've been a paralegal for over 25 years. Again, insert OG here. I currently work in the United States District Court for the Middle District of Tennessee in Nashville, where at the moment we are in the big news spotlight because this is where the infamous Garcia case currently resides. My motto has always been, the sidelines are not where you want to live your life. The world needs you in the arena. I have served in various board positions with NALA over the past several years, again, both in NALA and with my local paralegal association. These opportunities have provided me with valuable leadership opportunities and training and inspired me to be a positive influence to my colleagues and to the paralegal profession. Being a volunteer has taught me the true meaning of teamwork and the importance of being a productive team member. No other organization serves paralegals as well as NALA. I have such a passion for NALA. The paralegal profession is constantly being challenged, and no matter what gets thrown at us, NALA continues to lead the charge in keeping paralegals relevant and valued. I'm not one to sit on the sidelines, as I said, so as best I can, I try to utilize my leadership experience, skills, and knowledge to continue to serve NALA and its members, and I look forward to doing that in a second term as NALA secretary. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Debbie. All right, you may turn your camera off and we're going to move to Vicki. Vicki Casper, ACP, is from Midvale, Utah, and she is running for the position of treasurer, again, an unopposed position, election, and you have 2.5 minutes that will start now.
Thank you, Vinny. Hi, NALA members. As Vinny said, my name is Vicki Casper, ACP, and I'm seeking re-election as your NALA treasurer. I earned my bachelor's in paralegal studies in 2008, my CP in 2010, and ACP in 2014. I currently work in-house at a logistics company, Lineage Logistics, as a senior paralegal. It has been an absolute honor to serve this past year as your NALA treasurer, and so excited for the chance to continue serving this incredible organization should I be reelected. I'm originally from Fargo, North Dakota, and I now live in the Salt Lake City area. And over the years, I've had the honor of serving NALA and local paralegal associations in North Dakota and Utah in various leadership roles. These positions have included serving on the Continuing Education Council. I've served on the Professional Development Committee and also as ethics chair. And then, as I said, most recently, I was elected as your, and then I was Area 3 director, and most recently was elected as the NALA treasurer, where I had the opportunity to serve both on the budget and executive committees in both roles. My service to NALA on the various committees, 4 years as Area 3 director and past year as treasurer have been so rewarding, and I feel that I've only begun to tap into the potential of what I can contribute to NALA and the board and NALA's success. So this is why I'm eager to continue to serve as your NALA treasurer. And with my background and experience, I'm confident that I can continue to help manage the association's finances wisely, always in the best interest of you, the members, and NALA. And if re-elected treasurer, I promise to continue to serve with dedication and hard work. And my goal is to ensure that NALA remains financially strong and continues to support the needs and growth of its members. Thank you so much for your time and consideration, and I would be honored to receive your vote. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Vicki. And that is likely the last that you're going to hear from those 3 candidates because they are not running against anybody. So that's kind of an easy vote for you. Where you're going to have some challenge, obviously, are these 5 fine, fantastic folks that are running for 2 open at-large positions. Okay, so now we're moving into the contested parts. Okay, we're going to move to the at-large positions. And like I said, 2 positions are open and we have 5 people running. I'm going to list them one more time and then we're going to start with Courtney on her 2.5 minutes. So you will be up first, Courtney. And we have Courtney Bivens, ACP from North Las Vegas, Nevada. Jeannie Elliott, ACP from Wexford, Pennsylvania. Kayla Glaros, ACP from Spring, Texas. Bridget M. Stewart, ACP from Wahoo, Nebraska, and Dana G. Welker, ACP from Fleming Island, Florida. So Courtney, you're going to be our first introduction here. So if you can turn your camera on, wonderful, good to see you. And you now have 2.5 minutes to make some introductory remarks, and that time starts right now.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and I'm excited to be here today. Again, my name is Courtney Bivens. I'm originally from Minnesota, but I now reside in Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been here for about 4 years. As mentioned, I have the CP credential as well as the ACP credential in Discovery. I've been a paralegal for about 15 years. 7 of that has been in the federal government. I currently work for the District of Nevada in the prosecutor's office. In addition to that, I've worked in several areas of law. Currently, right now, I'm also a committee member for the Legal Redress Committee of the NAACP Las Vegas chapter. And other positions that I've held, I was secretary for the paralegal division of the Nevada State Bar. that's kind of me in a nutshell. I'm very dedicated to our profession, as well as advancing our profession. Um, I'm a big person when it comes to access to justice for all. I believe very strongly that everyone should have access to that. And with the advancing of our profession, I believe we can help more get access to justice. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. That's kind of why I want to join the NALA board to support the initiatives of NALA as well as our profession and help those within the community that need more access to justice. So I do hope that I get your guys' votes. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Courtney. We'll be back with you with some questions later. Next, we have Jeannie Elliott. If you could turn your your camera on, please.
Right.
All right. Again, Jeannie Elliott, ACP, and your 2.5 minutes for introduction will begin right now.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. I'm sorry I'm half blurry and half not. I promise I have not been drinking. That's my camera. I am super happy to be here today to meet everybody and see you. My experience with NALA started pretty much as soon as I graduated from school. I went to school on the later side. I finished my degree in 2009 and started with the local, which was at that time my St. Louis Paralegal Association, and my national membership. My involvement in boards started with that local group, and I worked my way through some of the offices and eventually was president at St. Louis Paralegal Association. I have enjoyed that work immensely and learned so much by being exposed to excellent leaders who have taught me how to listen, how to collaborate, how to be more open to new ideas. After I served on the St. Louis board, I joined NALA as a board member, as the continuing education chair. And I served on that committee for several years as a member and then as a chair, and really got to know how NALA worked as an organization. And I'm still here, so that says something. I think it's a great organization. I love it. I absolutely agree with Debbie's comment that no other organization serves paralegals like this one. I also have some other board experience. I have been participating in our corporate advisory board for 5 years now. I've also participated in another association's board for a few years, and board service overall, again, teaches a lot of collaboration, leadership, mentoring. NALA specifically has my heart because I live by the concept, always improve your position, and I want to help you do that. I want to help NALA do that. That's why I'm here today. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jeannie. And I think I neglected to say, and if I didn't, I'm going to remind you that you can ask your questions in the question feature. So across the top of the screen where you can see active camera, and then you have that chat. There's one box that has a question mark in it. If you click on that, you can submit a question through that feature. We are not really monitoring chat itself. So please, if you would like to ask a question, submit that in the questions box, and we will be monitoring those on our end, not the candidates. They can't see them, and we will incorporate all that we can into the question bank. Okay, next we have Kayla. You could turn your camera on, and this is Kayla Glaros, and she is from Spring, Texas, newly to Spring, Texas, and you have 2.5 minutes, and your time starts now.
Well, thank you so much, Vinny. Yes, as Vinny said, I am newly to Spring, Texas. I recently was in, or not recently, fully was in Florida, near the Tampa Bay area for all of my life until about January of this year. So new to Spring, but not new to NALA and not new to the profession. So I have been a paralegal for, I can't even believe I'm saying this, for almost 20 years now. Started in 2007 and joined NALA in 2015. So, been around for a little bit and have held quite a few positions in that time, all within different NALA committees. Let me go back to my paralegal experience. So I've worked in a few different areas of law, but primarily in civil litigation and contracts were my two main things. I'm currently not functioning as a normal paralegal, but I'm in risk management in a global audit, tax, and consulting firm, using all of my lovely paralegal skills, and also teaching law office practice and technology. Have been since 2017 at the college in which I graduated from my paralegal program from. So that's been a really cool thing for me as well. For NALA, I have been on the Continuing Education Committee, the Professional Development Committee, and am now the chair of the ACP subcommittee under PDC, and I'm sorry, CEC, and co-chair of the School Relations Task Force. So my focus within NALA, which has been and will continuously strive to be, is to focus on opportunities for students as well as for advancement for us, which is NALA's goal as it is. So I continuously strive to achieve and help push NALA's goals forward. So that's a little bit about me. Thank you, guys.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kayla. And next we have Dana. If you can get your camera turned on. And again, Dana Welker, ACP, and she is from Fleming Island, Florida. And you have 2.5 minutes that begins right now. You're
muted, aren't I?
Yep.
Okay. So I've been a paralegal for just over 30 years. I first joined NALA back in the late 90s. And I agree with everybody. I mean, we're all here because NALA is the greatest for paralegals, and that hasn't changed. I've been affiliated with NALA, like I said, since the late 90s. I got my CP exam and then moved to Florida I was in South Carolina. I moved to Florida early 2000s. So I let my NALA membership lapse for about 3 years while I tried being a law firm manager, and then decided I just wanted to be a paralegal again. So I rejoined NALA and got, I have 3 ACPs that I got over the years. Whenever I changed jobs, I got a new ACP. It's a great tool to build your resume if anybody's looking. I have served NALA on the Continuing Education Council, the Professional Development Committee, 3 years for each of those. And I have served on the NALA board for 4 years as the Area 1 director in the past. So I'm running for the at-large regional director. I still am driven to be involved with NALA and pursuit of the paralegal profession. Even after 30 years, I'm still working and I still want to improve our profession, and I think there's a lot that can be done. And NALA has their eyes on the future. So it's an exciting group to be involved with at any level. And I hope to continue that. I've been involved at my local level as president and on various committees and projects that we had in Florida. So I would appreciate your vote, but I think we've got a great group regardless. And I think my time's about up, and that's all I can think to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. And Dana, I can't echo your sentiments enough that, boy, this is a great crew. All 5 of you running for these 2 positions. I'm really wondering how everybody's going to decide. But that's why we're having this forum, is to help aid in that process. Bridget, would you please turn your camera on? Your 2 minutes will begin now.
Thanks so much, Vinny. As Vinny said, my name is Bridget Stewart. I am from Wahoo, Nebraska, and I'm currently working in Omaha at QTAC Rock, which is a corporate law firm. I've been with QTAC for almost 25 years and have been a paralegal at QTAC for almost 16 of those years. I have served previously on the board of directors for the Nebraska Paralegal Association. I started as treasurer for them, moved through the vice president and president role, and Nebraska also has a past president role, which helps with sponsorship and continuing the leadership for their group. After serving for Nebraska, I was approached to think about serving NALA, and I became the affiliated association secretary for NALA 7-8 years ago, and was proudly elected as the affiliated association's director shortly thereafter. I have also been elected since then as the at-large director, so I am currently seeking my second term as one of the at-large directors for NALA. One of the things that I love the most about NALA is the ability to provide opportunities. I am a farm kid by birth, and when you approach people back home in that rural setting and say, oh, I'm moving to the big city of Omaha and I'm going to work in the legal field, everybody immediately thinks, oh, that's ridiculous. I want to continue to give opportunities to those who either need a little boost in the self-confidence area, or to provide opportunities for them to develop both professionally and personally. And I have benefited from those type of opportunities through NALA, and I want to share those opportunities with others as well. So hopefully, if I am elected for a second term as an at-large director, I will be able to continue to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bridget. Thank you so much for catching me on that. Okay, now we're moving into the question portion. And as I shared, we are going to ask questions of the 5 folks who are running in the contested races. If you have a question, please put that in the question feature at the top right of your screen. If you have a question for one of the uncontested candidates, one of the officers that are running, feel free to put that question in there as well. Identify that that's what you would like to do, is ask of the uncontested candidate, and we will get to those if we have time. All right, I'm going to start with some questions because we, over the last several years, have compiled a number of questions that members have brought up for us to ask at these types of forums. And so I'm going to start with a somewhat easy one, kind of get us rolling. And again, you will have 30 seconds to answer this question. And we are going to go in this order for this question for the candidates to be prepared. It's going to be Kayla, Dana, Jeannie, Courtney, then Bridget. All right, and so that's going to be our order. I'm going to start with Kayla, and here is your question. Oops, I just had it right here, and that's hilarious. Sorry about that. It's a toughie. Why'd you become a paralegal?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I want to go fast. Okay. So I was working with a general contractor and 24-hour water damage and mold and fire remediation company. And we would buy some of these really cool houses that had horrible things that had happened to them. And I got to handle all of the behind the scenes of that, which led me into, wow, I'm really interested in this legal aspect. And that's what threw me in.
Perfect. Oh, that was a perfect 30-second answer for everybody to help model. Okay, and then next we have Dana, and that is your same question. I'll wait for you to come on. And why did you become a paralegal?
Okay, Vinny, so you're going to make me date myself. I grew up working summers for my dad. He was a CPA, and we both had an affinity for legal stuff. So I grew up watching Perry Mason on TV. So when I worked for my dad, we'd come home at lunch, watch Perry Mason, and then go back to work. So I've always been interested in like the courtroom dramas and um, just working in the legal industry. Oops, time's up.
That's fine. Do you want to wrap up that final comment?
No,
You're
I'm good.
okay. Okay. Next, it's Jeannie. Jeannie Elliott. Same question. Why did you become a paralegal? And your time starts now.
Well, I was teaching yoga at the community college, got free classes, took some legal classes, and first one, I just fell in love with all of it. And I thought everybody needs to know this stuff. So I ended up taking a different track, became a paralegal, and I love that we touch everything, and I'm never, ever bored.
Wonderful. Next, we're going to have Courtney. And share with us, why did you become a paralegal?
I became a paralegal because actually a high school teacher told me that I would actually make a good lawyer, but I wasn't so stuck on being an attorney, so I went for paralegal, and I've loved it ever since.
Thank you. And then we have Bridget Stewart. And why did you become a paralegal?
I'm going to give you the whirlwind description. So when I got out of college, I worked for a program for at-youth kids, and I hated it. I was looking for another job, and there was a few paralegal positions, so I applied. I did not get them the first 3 or 4 times, but eventually they hired me as a clerk, and I worked my way up from there. After the clerk, I was a secretary, and I hated answering everybody else's phones and entering time, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to do this myself, and that's how it worked out.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Our next question is going to go in this order for you folks there. Dana, Bridget, Courtney, Kayla, and then Jeannie. And this question is, what particular experiences or skills have prepared you to serve as a board member of NALA? And like I said, we're going to start with Dana. So we're asking for experience and skills preparing you to serve as a board member of NALA. And your time starts now.
Okay. I first served on my local affiliate association on their board and various committees, and then worked my way up to serve as president. And I served as NALA liaison several times, and just like I said, fell in love with NALA, the camaraderie, the support, the education, and I've just taken it from there on up to the NALA board and have some experience to know how things work.
Thank you so much. Bridget, you are next on deck. Experience and skills preparing you for being a board member, and your time starts now.
So in my introduction, obviously, I've been able to serve on various levels of board leadership, both at the local level and now as I am at NALA. I believe some of the most important skills that I can possess in my role, honesty and communication. Those of you who know me know that I am one of the most straightforward people that you know. I don't lie well, and if I do, you'll know. So I just tell you how it is when you see it. And the communication part, that just kind of goes along with it. I'm not afraid to tell people how I think things will work and share that with others.
All right, thank you. Next we have Courtney. And again, experience and skills preparing you to be a NALA board member.
I would say that my ability to adapt and my dedication would be skills that would help me on the board. As I mentioned before, I did serve as a secretary, so just having that knowledge on that position will also help me in this role.
Thank you. Kayla, you are up next. Experience and background skills.
No problem. So I was president of my local chapter back in Florida for some time. Also was the executive director for the group as a whole for a little over a year, and have also been the director of operations for a group, not NALA, but for a group called Honor Flight of West Central Florida, which is an amazing group if you've never heard of it, as well as my committee experience in NALA throughout the past several years.
Thank you so much. Jeannie, we're eager to hear more specifically about your background and experience to serve on the NALA board. And your
Okay,
time
well,
will start now.
alrighty. Well, I have had about 9 roles on 4 different boards, so I have a lot of experience. But mostly that experience has taught me to listen more than I talk, to be willing to speak up even if no one else does. Thanks to Cheryl in particular, to always look at things from the other side and maybe be the devil's advocate to be sure you're hearing all sides before making a decision.
Thank you so much. Okay, trying to get my screen back on. Okay, this next question is going to go in this order: Bridget, Kayla, Jeannie, Dana, Courtney. And your question is, what is one of the products or services that NALA provides that you find valuable and why? So again, NALA product that you find valuable and why. And Bridget, your time starts now.
I think the CPACP is one of the most valuable products that NALA provides, and that's simply because of the ability to develop personally. And I'm always a advocate for continuing to learn, not getting bored. And I think being able to use those certifications for dual purpose is a huge factor. You can learn, but you can also earn more and do more at your job with those certifications.
Thank you. Kayla, you are now on deck for the same question: product or service of NALA's that you find valuable and why.
Conference. And I don't know if that would be considered a product or service, but we're going to go with it. So NALACon every year is one of my absolute favorite things, and it's what drew me to truly join and be a part of NALA and continue to move forward with NALA throughout my entire career. I felt like I was a part of NALA when I joined, but I didn't really feel part of the community until I first went to conference, and then I never looked back. Like, it was the best feeling in the world to go to my first conference, and I would suggest that to anybody.
Thank you. Jeannie, you are up. Valuable NALA product or service and why.
Okay. Oh, my camera doesn't want to be good, but I'm just going to go with.
We can hear you. It's good, so go right ahead.
All righty. I think I'm going to go with a support thing that people don't see often, which is NALA's advocacy. The work NALA does behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, leading for access to justice and legal technician roles, I think is going to change the field.
Dana, you are up next, and we're looking for that valuable product or service that NALA provides and why you appreciate it.
That everybody has mute issues. Well, Bridget, Kayla, and Jeannie took some great answers, so I was taking notes to find something else. I agree with all of them, but I also love NALA's website. It's always evolving, making additions to it. So there's always go check out NALA's website. Don't think you've been there before, don't need to go again. Every time I go, I find something new I can explore.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dana. And now we have Courtney. And Courtney, we are asking you the same question: NALA product or service and why.
I'm kind of going to piggyback. I'm going to say the CLEs, the different CLEs that are offered is a good, valuable resource for us paralegals. So I'm going to go with that one.
Thank you so much. That's fantastic. All right, next question is going to go in this order: Jeannie, Courtney, Dana, Bridget, and Kayla. And here is your question: As more men come into the paralegal profession and become members of NALA, and as they have only been, as there has only been 2 or 3 men on NALA's board of directors in its history, what would you like to see or have the board of directors or its talent acquisition committee to do to make its board and standing committees more gender diverse? It's a long question. I'm just going to summarize it because I know that was a lot of words for you. Lack of participation from men at the top leadership roles. And so asking what you would like to see the board or NALA itself or the talent acquisition committee do to increased gender diversity within our leadership on the board and other committees. Jeannie, you are first to answer this question. And it looks like your camera's still not working, and I want to make sure you knew that. And your time, okay, and your time starts now.
All right. Sorry for the camera. I think we could do a couple things really quickly. One, of course, everybody on the board making an effort at conference to really reach out to the men, and 2, the talent acquisition committee to see if they could survey the men and ask what they want and need to feel more included, and also to reach out perhaps to other men and that they know at work.
Thank you so much. Courtney, it is now your turn to talk about plans that we could incorporate around gender diversity.
So I would say maybe surveying our members, particularly the male members, to get more of an insight of what it would take for them to be more involved, to be more inclusive of what we got going on. Sometimes, those gender roles kind of just make you stay away because it's more women in our profession. So I think surveying them might help us to get more of them in leadership roles.
Thank you so much. Dana, you are now up with the gender diversity question.
Okay, this hits home because my second son has decided he wants to be a paralegal and follow in his mother's illustrious footsteps. So I think one thing I've noticed at our conferences and probably at other meetings, we all need to make an effort, like simple things like doing a greeting instead of saying good morning ladies, include ladies and gentlemen. We're kind of not in that habit, and we need to get to be. And I think that will spread the word and help people feel comfortable.
Thank you so much. Next on deck is Bridget Stewart. And you're waiting for your camera. There you go. And your time starts now.
So, as we can see, the paralegal profession is a female-dominated profession, and I think one of the best things we can do is to meet those men where they're at. And by that, I mean from an educational standpoint, if we can start touching them sooner, if we can start getting in contact with them sooner in their education process, I think that it will sustain through the long haul.
Wonderful, thank you. And the last one to answer this question is Kayla, and your time starts now.
Yeah, I'm actually going to piggyback a little bit on what Bridget said because I'm in the unique position of being an adjunct professor in a legal program. So I have a surprising number of men in my class, in our program, and I don't necessarily see them move on to NALA or on to other paralegal associations. So I think what Bridget's saying is really important, and that we need to meet them in the education point. We need to get more involved within our paralegal program so that we can help the men and women within those programs understand what options are available to them.
Thank you so much. Okay. Next question is going to go in this order. Courtney, Jeannie, Kayla, Bridget, Dana. And that question is, what would others who have served with you describe as your strengths? So as you've served with other people in other volunteer positions, or perhaps even people you work with, what would they say are your strengths? And Courtney, you are first on this one. And you have your 30 seconds.
I think that anyone who has worked with me will say that I am very reliable and dedicated. You give me a task, I'm gonna work it all the way through. If I get stuck on it, I'm gonna find someone to help me so that I can continue to move through. So I think that anyone who has worked with me in any capacity would say that I am very reliable, they can depend on me, and that I'm gonna get the job done.
Thank you so much. Jeannie, you are next on deck with this question. Again, strengths that others would describe you.
I'm pretty sure people would say that I come with a lot of passion, so I definitely bring passion. I hope that they would also say that I am a team builder and that I very much will stick with something till it's done and step in to help anyone get stuff done.
Wonderful. Kayla, you are next up. What do others say about you?
I think that people would generally say I am dedicated and that I don't let up. I will continue to move forward with something, and if we can't do it a certain way, we will find another way in which to get it done. And I pretty much persevere when it comes to that.
Sorry for the accidental photobomb there. Your time was not up. Bridget, you are next, and you have 30 seconds.
I would say hardworking and communicator. If somebody gives me something to do, it will get done. And like Kayla said, if I can't get it done, we will find a way to go about it. Communications, I am very straightforward. I am not afraid to share my thoughts. I am not afraid to play devil's advocate. I am not afraid to speak up for somebody who may be a little bit more intimidated to do so.
Thank you so much. And Dana, you are up next. How would people describe your strengths?
I think people would describe me as being extremely honest. Um, don't ask me a question if you don't want an honest answer. But I'm honest to a fault. I throw myself on the sword if need be, if that's what happened. If I can't get something done, I'll ask for help. But I think the honesty is the main thing.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Okay. I think we're going to have time for 2 more questions. So this next one is going to go in this order. Dana, Bridget, Courtney, Kayla, Jeannie. And this question is, what are some of the particular challenges paralegals are facing right now? Pretty broad question, but challenges that paralegals are facing right now. And we start with Dana, and your time starts now.
Challenges. I think there's challenges in workplaces with finding a good fit, with atmospheres. So from what I hear in Facebook groups and things, I think finding a good atmosphere and environment to work in is one of the main challenges for people today. Fortunately, my company is great. So Kayla, come back to Tampa. Time's up.
Thank you, Dana. Bridget, what are some of the challenges you're seeing paralegals facing right now? And your time starts now.
I think the biggest challenge would be the inability of an attorney to use paralegal proficiently. And now I'm not saying it doesn't happen. There are cases where paralegals are being used to the most of their potential, but I think in a lot of situations, attorneys don't know how to use a paralegal, and we need to do better to educate them in that.
Thank you so much. Courtney, you are now on deck on sharing with what you understand to be some of the particular challenges paralegals are facing today. And Courtney, okay, there, and your time will start. I'm going to wait till you come all the way on. Okay, your time starts now.
I would say with the advance of legal paraprofessionals and things like that, I think challenges that are paralegals who are embarking on that area, they're experiencing challenges as far as what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. There's a lot of pushback, especially I know in the state of Nevada, to allow paralegals to kind of walk into that world. So I think the challenges is what are we and what can't we do?
Thank you so much. Kayla, you are next to identify the challenges or some of the challenges paralegals are facing right now.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges that we have faced and continue to face is technology. There needs to be up-to-date resources available for us as paralegals to understand the advancements in technology and be able to adequately use them in anticipation of our attorneys and our law firms and our clients needing those things. We as paralegals have to be ahead of it before our attorneys are.
Wonderful. And Jeannie, you are now on for challenges facing paralegals.
Okay, I think I'm going to piggyback off both Courtney and Bridget in that it has been and still is a big challenge. Paralegals need to advocate for their skill set. We need to be able to identify our skills, call them out, and be willing to speak up to others and say, hey, I can do this. Hey, I know this technology. Step into the gap, so to speak, and fill it and, conquer it.
Okay, and I do believe this is going to be our last question. As I look, yep, it's going to be our last question. And it's going to go Bridget, Kayla, Jeannie, Dana, Courtney. And your question is, what is one idea you have that you want to propose or would like to propose to the NALA board that you think will promote NALA's mission and or vision? So we're looking for an idea for the board to continue to promote NALA's mission and vision. Bridget, you are up first. And your time starts now.
So the first thing that pops in my mind is the legal ecosystem. And of course, we have paralegals and we have lawyers, but they're not necessarily working together. So I'm gonna take a step back to my previous answer about how we need to continue to educate the attorneys in how to use a paralegal more proficiently. And I think if in connection with our stepping into the schools, the paralegal programs, I think to a certain extent it might be worth taking a shot and going into the law schools and start talking to some of those young educated attorneys as well.
Wonderful. Thank you. Kayla, you are next on the question related to an idea to help continue to promote NALA's mission and or vision.
I'm sure this will come as a shock as a professor, an adjunct professor, but my idea would be a student or more entry type level paralegal focused specific conference or resource available that we can do to help them promote their knowledge within the field, to help them gain resources and mentorship and develop skills, especially as they enter the legal field.
Thank you so much. Jeannie, you have this question now as well. Your 30 seconds begins.
I think I would bring to the board the concept of marketing, again, the skills. I know we've done some stuff already, but really training paralegals to understand their skills, identify them. I know this sounds like my last question, but I think paralegals really need to know what they know, and NALA's positioned perfectly to explain that in ways.
Okay. Next on board is Dana. And again, what you'd propose to continue forwarding mission and vision.
Okay, there are a lot of changes in the paralegal community. There's more opportunities opening up, more positions opening up. Some states are looking to bridge the gap for access to justice. Some states aren't working on it, but a lot of them are, and I think NALA needs to make big imprint in those states so that we maintain our position.
Thank you. And Courtney, you are the last one to answer our last question on what would you propose to the NALA board to help forward the vision and mission of the association. Time starts now.
I think I'm going to piggyback off of Kayla and Dana and just say that I think we need to provide more education and more information in regard to bridging the gap to legal help, as well as educating attorneys and even laypersons on what a paralegal can and can't do. So there's more understanding of how we can better help.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. This time has blown by very quickly, as it does every year. Thank you to all the candidates for participating today. I am certain that this is going to aid in people making decisions about who they want to vote for to join the board and lead this organization. As you know, we are a completely membership and volunteer governed organization, and the leadership on the board, as Cheryl was said in her introduction, is so critical to the success and long-term success of NALA. So very critical position, and thank you so much for participating in this forum, and everybody for participating and watching. And if you're watching the recorded version, thank you so much for doing that as well. I'm going to quickly go over the voting procedures because it's several steps, can feel complicated, and we just want to make sure that you understand the process. Also, we are here on staff to help. So if you have any questions, you can always email us at nalanet@nala.org, or you can call us at 918-587-6828, and we are always glad and more than willing to help members with any questions that they have. The voting process will open tomorrow. You will get an email link into your primary email that's in your NALA account. So if you do not want to receive it at that email, you need to today, change that email, at least for the time, at least through tomorrow, so that you can get that email to the email you would like to vote from. It is important because we cannot send out a second email to another email for the same member because that could allow for multiple voting. If you get an email that you cannot access, cannot find, please call us, email us. Already shared that, nalanet@nala.org is probably your quickest and easiest way to get in touch with us. And we can absolutely help you with that voting process up to and including submitting a proxy vote for you if that's necessary. So please don't let that deter you from voting. If you're having any sort of technical challenges, please reach out to us. You will get that email. You will click the link to make your selections, your votes. Then you submit your vote. Then you get an email, a confirmation email, fairly quickly. Then you have that email and you have to review that email and then confirm it. That's the thing that sometimes people get the hang up on there. Once you get the email that you voted, you review and confirm, and that's the only way your vote will be counted. Again, if your primary email in your current account is not where you'd like it to go, you have just a few hours to change that, and you can change it back after you get the email if you like. Voting will close on, voting opens tomorrow and will close on Tuesday, July 8th at 5 p.m. Central, and that is 2 days before the conference begins. And election results will be announced at the annual membership meeting on the 10th, Thursday the 10th, at the NALA Conference and Expo. There are other ways to learn, as Cheryl shared, facts and findings, and our website. This recording will be available for viewing on YouTube, and I look forward to seeing you all at conference on July 10th. And you have 1 week to register before the late rate kicks in for conference. So thank you so much for joining us today. And we really appreciate all the participation of our candidates, and those watching in today. Thank you so much, And we look forward to your voting and seeing you at conference.